And I am Nikita Sarvana. Today we will be teaching you how to draw
a winter wonderland
silhouette landscape. And please mute your audio unless you have any questions, just so we can go more smoothly.
We would also appreciate it if you could all turn on your video so we could see you and your beautiful artwork.
And once again, if you do have any questions, then please make sure to raise your hand and we will call on you.
Yep. And as Ms. Kendra said earlier, the supplies for today's class include white scrapbook paper, a pencil and eraser, acrylic paint, black paint, a cup of water, paint palette, and brushes. And in particular, we will need the paint of shades of blue, red or purple, black and white paint. Also make sure you have newspaper or something to cover your surface. Like we have parchment paper down here to cover our surface before we paint on it.
And if you don't already have these items, then you can go ahead and just grab them now, and we'll give you like around 2 more minutes to go and get them. And if you don't have any paint, then you can also use colored pencils or crayons and just follow the same pattern that we're using with paint. And we'll also be using the reactions box to communicate in our class, specifically the thumbs up reaction.
So I'll give you guys a few minutes. If we all are ready, could you guys please give me a thumbs up using the reactions box? I'm gonna give you guys 1 more minute just so everyone's ready.
Just so I got that correct. It's blue, red, and purple. I put it in the chat box.
Blue, red, purple, white, and black paint.
White and black. Okay.
Excuse me, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
I had a question. I don't know. I don't think I can't pin you because I'm on a mobile device.
Oh, so if you do speaker view, then it should be mostly us, right?
Yep. And it should also be fine because since we'll be mostly talking, it should automatically show up on your screen.
Yeah, I don't have a speaker view thing.
But yeah, I think it should be fine. If you don't see us while we're showing something, then just let us know and
we'll show you.
See what
Yep. Okay, so this is how the final image will look. We're going to show you now before we get started.
We're going to show you both of our examples.
So here is example 1, and
this is our second example.
And let's go ahead and get started.
I have one question. Your video is like really blurry. I can barely see you if I pin you. So it's like really fuzzy and blurry for me.
Is that happening to anyone else?
No, you're clear on my end.
Yeah, you're clear on my end as well. So I'm not sure.
Might be internet connection, maybe.
Yeah, you could maybe try rejoining, or see if it like gets better over time.
Like when I don't pin you, I can see you just fine. But when I do pin you,
okay. Well, then just try not to. Then just go ahead and unpin them. And then just change your view to speaker view, and like they said, they'll be the one speaking the most.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So first we're going to go ahead and start with the sky. And can everyone see this sheet of paper right here? Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we have our sheet of paper, and I'm going to draw it upside down so that you guys can see it clearly when I do it. And we're going to take at least 3/4 of our paper and then draw a line to separate it here. So I'll do it so that you can see it, and it doesn't have to be a completely straight line or something. I'm just going to approximate it and just draw a straight line through my paper. You guys see this? So see how I have 3/4 of my paper here and then 1/4, and they're both divided by one line that just goes through the center.
And also when we're doing the ground later on, we'll be adding like hills and stuff, so it's not going to be this perfect line. It's
Mhm.
just an approximate area, just so you know not to do it all the way to the bottom.
Yep. And now we're going to start with the painting fun part. So the first color we're going to get is a light blue. I'm going to use this light sky blue that I have. If you guys don't have light sky blue, that is not a problem. You can always take dark blue and add a lot of white to it, and not a lot, but a good dose of white to lighten it.
I have a question. Is this too dark or is it the perfect color?
I think that's perfect. Yeah, that looks like sky blue. You're good.
Desert turquoise.
If you ever do want to make it lighter, again, you can just add white paint to it, and it should get lighter.
So the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and I want you guys to see where you want your moon to be on this piece of paper. So I'm going to do mine around here, top corner. We're going to be painting on the 3/4 section of this paper. And we're going to go ahead and just do the dab technique. So just go ahead and do like a little circle around where you want your moon to be. And remember, we will be painting the moon on top of this, and by that time it'll be dry, so your white paint will be pretty clearly seen on that.
And if you don't want to do that, then you can also just make your own circle, draw it with a pencil, and just start coloring around it.
So we're going to do the dabbing technique and sort of just spread it out. And I'm going to give you guys a few minutes to do that.
So this example is what my sister did with doing the light blue in the area of where the moon will be. And another example that you can do is just drawing a circle where you want your moon to be, so we can fill it in later.
I have a question. Because my paper is like this big. I did my moon a little higher. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay.
Guys, we're going to personalize this winter wonderland, so it could be any such way. The moon is the component we're having on there. So if we're ready to move on to the next part, I have a little dollop of dark blue paint, and this is where you have two different methods you could do it with. You could either start blending your paint directly on your paper using the dab technique, or you can go ahead and add a little bit of your sky blue with a little bit of this blue paint and mix it together to form the next color, which is going to be a little bit of a darker blue. So I'm going to show you guys, and I'll be blending it directly on my paper. So what I've done is I've taken the sky blue paint on my paintbrush, and I'm going to go ahead and just dip it into the dark blue paint. Just take a little bit and then go directly on your piece of paper, and right around where you dabbed it, you're going to go ahead and re-dab it. And we're going to go ahead and dab it. Just go right around the border. It doesn't matter if it doesn't look too circular. The sky is also crazy. It's nature. So we're just going to go, and I'm going to slowly start bringing the paint inwards to the light circle. So if you see here, I'm sort of just going in and taking it inward by dabbing it from the outside to the inside. I'm going to go back here and show you guys.
And make sure you don't take the mix of the dark blue and the light blue too far in, because we do need a little bit of a lighter area for us to do the moon.
And if you do, that's no problem. Just go ahead and go back with the sky blue from the center and just bring it outward this time. So if you see, I've left a little bit of that light blue in the center. And I'm going to actually go back in with the light blue paint. Here it comes. Yes, paint is coming. I'm going to go back with the light blue paint from the center and drag it outward again. So we're sort of doing a little bit of mixing directly on the piece of paper. And the dab effect is really good for mixing because it sort of, in a way, forces all your paint to come together in a textured pattern.
I have a question. Is there supposed to be an amount that, how far does the blue sort of paint have to be spread?
It doesn't really have to be spread to a certain amount, but I've sort of made it to at least, I guess, like about an inch, maybe half an inch to an inch thickness. like, let me bring it a little bit closer. But I've sort of had this little about 1 inch light blue center, and then it slowly shifts to the darker blue. And the darker blue is about 1/2 inch to 1 inch thick, I guess.
Like this?
Mm-hmm. Yep, that looks good.
And our basic idea is kind of bringing the colors from light to dark, starting from the moon and going outward.
Mm-hmm. So is everyone good with that part? I'll give you guys 2 more minutes. So we're ready to move on? Okay.
And if you finish that part, then again, could you please give a thumbs up using the reaction button so we can know if you're all done?
Oh. Yep, I think we're gonna go to the next step in a minute. We'll just give you guys 1 more minute. Okay, I think we're ready. So now we're gonna go for a darker tone. This time I'm using the same blue, but I'm not mixing it with anything. So just take the blue directly, and we're gonna do about the same pattern. We're gonna go ahead, use the dab technique, go around it. And this one doesn't have to be too much of a thicker border. This is gonna be probably our last circular border,
Okay.
if you would call it that. And we're gonna do the same thing of dragging the darker paint inward. Not all the way to the lighter blue, but like just to the second layer of blue that we did.
Hi, I'm sorry Cody is late. We couldn't seem to get everything going. Is there a way he can catch up?
Yep, this is gonna be really simple. So we're gonna use the dabbing technique, which is basically,
So and again, right now we're working on the sky right now.
yep, I will be going backward just a second, but we're gonna use a sky blue. So I use this blue, and we're gonna use the dab technique to go in and make a circle around the sky blue, and that's gonna be where you want your moon to be. If you don't wanna do the circle and then paint the white moon on top of it, then you could do this other example where you, whoops, I can't hold paper, where you draw the moon with the pencil as a circle, and then you go on and you do the sky blue right around that.
Okay, so do you want to do that one? Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. And all we're doing is we're just gonna make the blue darker as it goes outward, because the moon is like the brightest object, and then everything gets darker as it goes up.
I have a question. How do you make the blue darker?
So there are 2 ways. If you don't have a darker blue already, then you could add a little bit of black and make it darker, and that should work.
And also make sure about the amount of black you use, because black is a very strong color, so
Yup.
too much can make it completely black.
Oh, okay.
Excuse
And
me.
also, if your paint starts going on top of this line, the line that we drew before, that is completely okay.
Okay. I have to keep, should I add a few more layers of the dark blue because I have to cover my entire paper with it, or?
Nope, we don't have to cover our entire paper with it. So this is going to be our last circular dark blue shade. And then I'm going to show you guys this really cool, almost galaxy type technique in the background that's going to look really, really pretty.
Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
Is this okay?
Yeah, that looks really good. I would say actually maybe make your darker blue a little bit wider on the paper. And
Make it a bit thicker.
But other than that, that looks really, really good. You're doing great, guys.
So can we use water to blend the color?
You could use water. I usually don't do that because I feel like it dilutes my colors a bit. But if you want to blend without using water, you could just use a wet paintbrush and then go back and just dab at it in between, and it'll blend itself.
And also make sure when you're doing that, your paint isn't completely dried, or else it might not blend at all.
Okay.
So I'm gonna give you guys a few more minutes before we move on to the next one.
My moon and dark blue stuff almost looks like a portal.
Dude, it could be a portal. What if your winter wonderland is like a portal to where Santa Claus lives? That'd be super cool. Could happen. And if anyone wants to, you could always go back in with your lighter blue and just lighten up this a little bit more. Just use the dab technique and everything should blend in really well. Okay, I'm gonna give you guys 1 more minute before we move on to the next part. I think we're ready, almost. Okay, if everyone's ready, could you guys give me a thumbs up again? Don't even have to do reactions, just like show me a thumbs up.
Does this look good?
Yeah, that looks really good. I like the way you blended it outward. That's really nice. Yup, we're gonna move on to the next step.
And
So
remember,
we're gonna
everybody's
take
is
the
going to be a little bit different than everybody else's, so that makes it unique in your own.
Remember, we're making it our own unique wonderland, so it's gonna be fun.
Art is about personalization.
So now we're gonna do the little crazy galaxy type thing. So we're gonna do the same dark blue. I haven't changed the dark blue, and I'm just sort of gonna do a little, I guess, strip of dark blue. I'm sorry if I'm covering it, guys. But I'm just gonna make it like on its own, away from the other dark blue, sort of its own color. And we're gonna see really soon why we're doing this. It sort of looks like zebra stripes, but it's not. But we're just gonna do the dabbing technique and just do like these little stripes of blue on your paper, wherever you want them to be. It doesn't have to completely cover the paper. We're just gonna do it in a few places, like really randomly. And you could make it bend towards your circle or away from your circle. You could sort of make them almost connect, but not like that one. I'm gonna add one more little globule of blue right here. Add a little bit more paint to this. I'm gonna give you guys a few minutes to do that. And we are going to darken the blue really quickly.
So
Yeah,
kind of like
that looks really accurate. That's really good. We got this. Yay. Okay. So I'm going to give you guys a few more minutes.
Is it okay if we sort of go into our sort of sidewalk thing?
Yeah. So once we're done with this part, because I think we're all ready, I'm going to use a darker shade of blue. It looks almost black in the camera, but it's navy blue. It says Persian blue here, but it's actually navy blue. And this time, we're not going to blend colors. We're going to take a dollop of this paint, just a second.
And again, if you don't have another different color of darker blue, you can just add a little bit of black.
Just a second. I'm just gonna grab the paint.
Is this good?
Yeah, that looks really good. Yep, you're doing a really great job. So we're gonna take the darker blue on our brushes, and we're still using the same brush, and we're just gonna go ahead and just sort of give this little globule stripe thing that we did a little border in a way, an outline. I forgot the word. But we're just gonna do this, and we're actually gonna go around our big circle that we created here. We're gonna do it over here too. Remember, it doesn't have to be everywhere. It doesn't have to fill up your white space. It could just be wherever you want it, and it doesn't have to blend. These are sort of gonna be like the clouds.
And it'll add depth to the picture and make it look more realistic.
Because when we actually look at the night sky, there's no scripted painting like thing, you know? It's all unscripted, imagination. So we're just gonna do it like that. Sorry, I couldn't hear you. Who was that?
2 more minutes.
Yep, we're still doing it.
I have a question. Did I do my navy black sort of too dark?
No, there's no such thing as too dark. You're fine, trust me. The sky has many shades of blue, especially the night sky. So you're gonna be fine no matter what shade of blue. And remember, we don't have to blend these in. I think it might look blended in on my paper, but they're really not blended in. They're sort of like outlines on their own. And remember, you don't have to stick to just making it an outline. You can go ahead and make it its own stripe, sort of like I'm about to do right here. So I'm gonna connect it on the top and sort of just go down like this. You could join it with the other blue too.
So we use that same color. So we use that same. Oh,
Yep.
I get it now.
Okay.
I get what we're doing now.
That's good. The other side is a lighter blue. Yeah. Yep, that looks really good, Max, but I can't see your screen now. But I did see it before and it was really, really good. Yep. I like the way you outlined your circle. That was really nice. So I'm going to give you guys a few more minutes on this.
Is this good so far?
That looks really, really good. I like how you like spaced out all of your like blue stripes. That's going to create a really good effect.
Okay.
So we're just
What do you think? I gotta ask.
That's really, really good. I really like how you had that like the thicker blue on top and then you got it thinner right near the bottom of the circle. That's going to look so pretty, especially since like closer to the ground you have more light. I like the way you thought of that. That's really smart.
I had to remix my dark blue because I don't have a dark blue. I was mixing black and blue. Well, my first one, it went so dark that it looked like the stars went out.
Sorry.
I kind of went with more of a navy.
Oh yeah, I love your like the shade of blue that you used. It's really calming.
Yes, it looks really good.
Yeah, I really like it. See, we all have like our different types. It's really pretty. This is gonna look amazing. Okay, are we ready to move on to the next step? This is where we're gonna bring in the purple. Grace, that looked really pretty. I like how you had like the two darker layers in your circle. That was so pretty.
I have a question. Does this?
Yeah, that looks amazing. See, you have the darker, and I actually like the way it's sort of like a blended dark. And Ritika, I saw yours too. That outline was striking. I'm not joking. That was really, really good. You guys are doing amazing.
Is this okay?
Just a second. I can't see you. 1 second. Yeah. Dude, that's really. My sister wanted to say something, and then I
No,
cut her
that
off.
looks really good. I like how the dark color on the outside, it really gives like an highlight to the rest of the picture.
We're doing great, guys. Okay, so our next step, if we're all ready for that, I think we are.
And you can still continue working on it while she explains it. And yeah, you can take your time.
Yep, our next step is going to be if you want to add purple, or I have this off red pink mix color, I guess, and I'm going to be using both of them to show you how it looks. But I'm going to start off with the purple and just squeeze some onto my brush. This is just to create like a little galaxy effect. Remember, we're still using the same brush, and this one is not going to be an outline. This is sort of going to be like, I guess, a little, you know how we made the blue stripes before? It's going to be like a little blue stripe of its own, except it's purple. So we're going to go ahead and just, same thing we did earlier, dab it in from basically wherever you would like it to go. Sort of make it have its own little pattern in the sky. and it can blend in with the other colors. That's fine too. So I'm gonna show you guys up close. Not sure you can see, but there's a little difference, the purple and then the darker blues. And you don't have to do this everywhere. In fact, I'm only gonna add my purple in about 2 little places because I'm gonna show you the red part in a second. So just add the purple. You can do it close to your circle or far away from your circle. I'm doing mine both close and far away. And we're gonna slowly start just filling up our white spaces. Not exactly with the purple, but like the technique that we're doing right now.
I have a question. Could we also, do we fill in the entire thing or just?
Not the entire thing, because we're gonna leave a little bit of room for blending. And for the black paint. So not the entire thing, but just like little lines wherever you want them to go. And now I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys how to do the red pink one. This one is gonna be a little bit of blending, but I'm a person who loves blending and I'm sure you guys like it too. So here it goes. I'm gonna blend directly on the paper, but basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the same stripe thing, and you guys could probably see this color difference a lot better. But I'm gonna go ahead and just pull it inward like this. It can go near the purple. And then I'm gonna go back with the lighter blue, not the darkest blue we've used, but the second lightest blue, and sort of start taking a little bit and dabbing it inward, sort of blending just the outside of this color. So if you look at it, here's my red stripe right here, and I'm just gonna do a little bit of blue right on the outside. I'm not gonna get too into the paint, just on the outside. And I'm also gonna go ahead and just surround this little red stripe with the blue paint just to help it
Purple too
blend
dark.
better.
Did I do my purple too dark?
Nope, I think your purple is just right. I think it might just be the camera that makes it look dark, but mine looks dark too, and this purple is not that dark. But you can see how here it's a completely just a red line that looks like it's sort of blended in, but it's not. So we're gonna sort of do it like that. And if you want it to look a little bit more blended in, you could just very, very lightly, remember, not too much pressure, just really lightly, just dab at it at the very top. Like I'm hardly touching the paper now.
I have a question. How do we like make that sort of reddish pink in photos?
So if you don't have a red already, then you could just go ahead and use a really, really dark pink. If you want to make it a reddish pink, I would say add a little bit more red than pink and then blend it in until you get the right pink that you want. You could also add in a little bit of purple. Don't add in too much or else it'll look like a pinkish purple, but a little bit will do the trick.
Okay.
And Max, that looks really, really good. Are you going to use a little bit of red in there?
Probably.
Yep.
All right. What's the verdict?
Dude, it looks amazing. I can see the red parts that you've added in. That's really, really good.
So leave part of it white for the black, right?
We're going to leave a little bit of it for the black.
And is this to add a lot of red or just like dabs of it?
You could add, I'm going to add dabs of it for me, but if you like the red tone and you like the way it looks on your paper, then go ahead and add as much as you want. Remember,
And if you did cover up most of your paper with blue, then that's also fine because black, you can kind of put it over any color and it'll still be visible. So that's not a problem.
Yep. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do one more little red globule, I guess, sort of have it on the side here. And then we're just gonna take a lighter blue and just dab it in.
I think a bit of black and mixing it with all my colors so it can blend at least a little bit into it.
Yeah,
So
that's good.
why it's coming out like this.
Trust me, they look amazing. You're doing completely okay. You got this.
How does this look?
That looks really good. Dude, I can see like the different shades that you've used, and that's working really, really well. Especially with the brightness that you have here and then the different shades. You're doing great.
I think I did my pink a little too, my pinkish red a little too dark, bright, and now let's see it.
That's okay. And Courtney, I really, really like your red usage. Like the way that red and the purple looks, that's really, really vivid, and it gives a really nice contrast.
Thank you.
I say really a lot. I just realized. I'm sorry. But I'm just gonna add one more. And guys, the red can be really close to your circular thing that we've done, because this is the night sky. The colors are basically wherever they want to be. Just remember to blend it in with that light blue technique, and you will be absolutely okay. So I'm going to give you guys a few minutes while we're waiting for the next part. How many people like riddles?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
Yay. Okay. Here goes a little bit of riddle time. Okay. So here it goes. Which animals are famous painters?
What? What do you mean? I'm confused.
Which animals are famous painters, not favorite?
Pigs. Pigs.
Okay.
Pigs. Pigs.
Good guesses. Keep guessing.
Elephant.
Elephant.
Kangaroos.
Elephants or horses.
They're all really good guesses. You guys want to know the answer?
Humans.
So,
Pigs. Is it human?
Pigs?
Is it humans?
Humans? That was a good one. Well, we are too, but here it goes. Pablo Picasso and Vincent van Gogh.
Oh God, that is bad.
Hey, I mean,
Wait, no, that is bad.
that was a good one. Oh my gosh.
How does this look?
Oh, dude, I really like the way it looks like you could see every single red stripe, and I can see your purple shade really differently. That's nice.
how does this look?
I really like how you left that like little gap right around the, what do you call it? The moon circle. We're gonna call it the moon circle, because that part's gonna give such a nice contrast when you add the black. That was really good. And
Okay.
Ritika, yes, I did see your picture, and I can't see it now, but it looked really, really good. I like how I can see like a whole bunch of different colors on yours, and they all have like the same colors that we used, but they're like different light tones, and that creates a really nice like smoothness to it.
I think we'll do one more riddle before
We
we
move
go
on.
on. So, why did the paintbrush see a doctor?
Think hard. You
Any
may not
guesses?
know. Anyone have a guess?
I don't know.
Okay.
Wait, tell me the riddle again.
Yep, it's why did the paintbrush see a doctor?
It had too many brushes.
Nope.
Because it was painted out or something?
That one's a good one. I haven't heard of that one before.
It didn't brush?
Nah.
No.
That would be a dentist one. Why did it be a dentist? It didn't brush.
Was its hair all bristled?
No.
Nope, that would have been bad hair day for sure, but nope. These are good guesses, guys. Come on, I know you know it.
Nope, not even close. I don't know.
Any more guesses?
Nope.
Are you guys ready for the answer?
Yes. Yes, I am.
The answer is it had a stroke.
Like a brush
Oh,
stroke.
Jesus.
Dun, dun.
That is horrible.
Well, it's horrible for the paintbrush for sure. Okay, so we're gonna move on to the next part. And this is the part where we're gonna take the darkest color we have, which could be the darkest blue or, okay, my sister wants me to just say black. It's black paint, guys.
Yeah, but if you don't have a black, then you can just use the, darkest blue you have.
Okay, so I'm going to use black.
Okay.
All right, same. I'm using black.
I have metallic black. So I'll use that.
I have like sort of true blue, so that doesn't make any sense. So
I have a metallic black. Should I use that?
Yeah, that's gonna give your painting a really cool different effect. That's gonna be actually really pretty with the stars or the snow.
I have metallic black.
So we're gonna go ahead and take the black paint, and wherever we have the white spots left over, we're gonna go over those. And if you get it on the other paints, that's okay. We're just gonna go ahead and dab here and here. These are the two spots I have it. And if you ever feel like the black is standing out a bit too much or you want to blend it in with your painting, the next thing you want to do is go ahead and grab the darkest blue and just go over the little edges of the black with it, and it'll look way more blended in. So I'm just gonna go ahead and dab my black wherever I want it to go.
Using the metallic black was a mistake because it looks like gray.
That's true. If it looks like gray, you could go ahead and add the darkest blue in and see if that makes a difference.
What if you have like so many?
Normal blacks.
What was the question?
What if you had so many spots, but then you didn't want to fill them all with black?
And go ahead and alternate with the light blue and the darker blue. Like sort of blend it in and then get to the black part.
Okay.
That should be pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys how to blend it in if you want to do that.
Look so far.
Wait, what was that? Oh, that looks really nice. You have a little spot that you haven't finished though. That tiny gap. But other than that, your painting is flowing really smoothly.
Okay.
So blending it in, if we want to blend it in, I'm basically going to take the darkest blue that we used earlier. Just dab a little bit of that onto your paintbrush. Then close it. If it'll close, and it does. Okay. And then we're going to go right around the black paint. So you see the black paint that I've given right here. I'm going to bring it closer. We're going to go right around the edges and just do light little dabs. Right.
Okay, it's a hot mess.
Dude, yours looks amazing. What are you talking about? The sky is going to look really cool like that. It looks.
Is this okay?
Freaking hot mess.
Dude, I love how your moon is like the brightest thing and then it like blends in. That's really, really pretty. That is like the effect.
I have a question. How are we gonna do all the hills and stuff?
Oh, we're coming to that really soon. First, we're gonna do the sky part and then we'll come to the hills really soon. It's a really cool technique. Finger paint may be involved slightly if you want to.
I think I did the reds a little too much.
Oh, that corner does look darker, but that's going to show as if your sky is going on and then it's sort of like leaked into your painting in a way. So it's going to look really nice.
Is this okay?
Yeah, no, I really like the way you did the lightness here. And then it just like blends in with the darkness. And that's really pretty. I like that effect.
I have a question. Did I do my reds too bright?
I mean, if you want to, you could go ahead and mix it with a little bit of purple if you want to make it a little bit darker. But you could have just had a night sky with like really vivid red colors. That happens too.
Oh, sort of like a really bright sunset. Almost. Sounds good.
I'm just gonna go ahead and do this. And I'll give you guys a few more minutes.
I'm adding these sort of blue dabs everywhere to fill in the spaces that I left without touching it.
Yep, that's a really good idea.
Touches of blue and mixed black to sort of combine it. Also, like purple is like super blended. It doesn't stand out like here I am in purple.
Well, that's good. So I'm gonna give you guys a few more minutes. And we might go ahead and do another riddle maybe.
I have a riddle for you.
Oh, that's an idea. Let's do it.
Okay. There was a murder on Sunday afternoon. There
Okay.
were facts. The gardener was trimming his bushes.
Right.
The housemaid was making some tea.
Okay.
The servant was getting the mail. Who was it?
Okay. Wait, does anyone want to guess before we guess, just in case?
The servant.
I would guess, but I know what it is.
Nobody won't say it.
Housemaid.
Okay, that's a good guess. Wait, Max, you want to tell us the answer? Because I feel like we know it too.
What's
Okay,
your-
we're gonna guess the servant.
It was the servant because there's no mail on Sundays.
Exactly.
Can I say one?
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know if he
And
knows.
then I've got a like more of a joke than a riddle, but
Okay.
A horse and a man went to town on Friday
Mm-hmm.
and he stayed for 3 days and he left on Friday.
I
How
know.
is that possible?
His horse was named
I know the answer to this, but
His horse was Friday.
The horse was named Freddie. That was a smart one. That was good. I haven't heard that one. So
Wait, I have one more for you.
okay, we're gonna do that one and then we're gonna go to the next part, okay? Okay, go ahead.
And there was a one-story house. The walls were pink, the oven was pink, the sofa was pink, the bed was pink. Everything was pink. What color were the stairs?
There's no
yeah.
stairs. It's a one house.
Yup, there are no stairs.
There,
Oh my
there-
gosh, you guys have really smart jokes.
no
That's
colors
good.
okay, why was the robot angry?
Did he malfunction? No, that was a bad one. That was
No.
a bad one.
No.
What was it?
Because someone had been pushing his buttons.
Oh, that's good.
Actually, that came from a podcast I listened to.
But that was a good joke though. That was good. Okay, do you guys want to move on to the next part?
Yes.
Almost. Yeah. My sister's going to be taking the next part, which is going to be, do you want to say it?
The moon.
Moon.
Wow, you guys are good guessers too. That was really good.
Well, I didn't even hear you. What did you say? Did you say the moon?
Yep, our next part is going to be the moon.
We're going to the moon, people.
Oh, I'll show you guys a technique right before. If you want to do this, if you want to have a perfect circle and you're okay with doing this, then you can. So I basically have one of the caps of the paint thingies. Oh yeah, the lid of the paint thingies, the cap, it's the same word. And we're going to take a little bit of white paint. I'm going to put a dollop of it, just a second.
Or could you just take a sort of a pencil and sort of lightly outline it?
You can do that. This one's a little bit easier if you're okay with doing it. If you aren't, then don't do it. It's okay. You could do the pencil method. That's good too. This one's just going to get you the perfect circle effect. I know the moon is not a perfect circle, it's a sphere, but basically we have the bottle cap right here and I have a little bit of white paint and I'm just going to go ahead and lightly just put it right on the rim. You can do it if you're okay with it. If you don't want to get your bottle cap white, that's okay. And I'm going to put it, you see the lightest part we have here? I'm going to put it right in the center and press it down. And don't move it when you're pressing it down because that will create an extra circle. But I'm just going to press it down, hold it there for a few seconds. And then if you take it off really carefully, you have a perfect circle right there. So you could do that if you want to. The paint will dry off your lid, so that's not a problem. But that's the little technique I wanted to share it with you guys. And my sister will be taking the stage in just a second.
Question.
Yep.
How does the circle have to like cover the entire sort of like?
No. It doesn't have to cover the entire circle because remember the sun reflects on the moon and that's how the light is like shown all over the world, I guess. So it can be a small circle or a big circle. It doesn't really matter. It's just that the brightness is sort of coming from it. That's the effect we're creating.
Are you supposed to color the inside?
Yep, we're going to be coloring the inside. Yep, Max, I think you have it exactly the way I did it. That's really good.
Yeah, I did the
That's
bottom.
exactly what I meant.
I don't think doing the bottle cap one because like mine is like super tiny, barely cover anything.
I did the
Okay,
bottom.
that's okay.
If
Yeah,
you
no,
don't want
I'm
to use
using
your
this-
paint lid, but you want to do that circle, you could take like a
bottle.
water bottle cap or something.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a really good idea too.
I don't think taking a water bottle cap would be the best idea because you may still have to drink from it.
I mean, you could always wash
If
the
it's
cap.
empty, you people.
It's only if you want to. If you don't want to, if you're not comfortable with it, that's okay. And my sister will be taking the stage now.
So now we're going to be doing the moon. And when I started, I didn't actually color it. I outlined it beforehand. So mine's already white. And what I'm going to be showing you now is how to add like effects and depth to make your moon look realistic. So if you did the previous method where you already covered it, all you're gonna do now is do the outline to get the circle for your moon, and then fill in the inside of your circle with white paint. And if you did like blue paint underneath, you might need to do a couple layers, but remember not to do too many, because then your paper might get really soggy and tear.
That happens too. Welcome to the art world.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Does this do I have to do another layer, or is it?
That looks really good.
Yeah, that looks really, really bright. You could do another layer of white if you want to. It might make a little bit of a difference, but
I can still see like a blue, sort of like a light blue.
then you could go ahead and do another layer, because I mean I'm gonna be doing mine in about 2 layers.
And if you already started with that outline, then still go back and fill it in with white paint, because that'll make it easier to add like the different patterns and stuff on the moon.
Wait, we're adding patterns on the moon?
Not really patterns, but
It's like
you
a
know how
type
the
of
moon
shading.
has like craters in it, so we're just going to be showing that using like gray paint and black and adding that stuff.
How do we do that? I've never seen that before.
Yep, we're about to do it.
You're gonna see it today.
Is this good?
Darn, both of yours looks really, really good.
Yep.
I would actually Sweta, make it a little bit lighter, and it's gonna create a really, really nice effect. Like it'll look brighter.
This is like the 4th layer.
That's good.
I
That's
got
good.
at least 10 layers on mine.
And if you are filling in your moon with white paint, it would be best if you use a thinner paintbrush than the ones we had before, since we'll be adding smaller details.
So how small? Do you think a paintbrush like this would be good?
Yep, that would work. I'm using one that's around this small. But yeah, really anything that is around lesser than the size of the shape of your moon and lesser than the paintbrush we were just using would work fine.
Or if you don't have a paintbrush that small, then just use the tip of your big brush. Like, let me give you guys an example. So if you have like a brush like this, then just use the very tippy tip, like one side of it, and that should work too.
Is this brush good enough?
Yep,
that looks
good.
fine. Yeah.
Is this a good brush?
Yep, that's good.
Perfect size.
And another thing for what we're doing now, when we start the details, if you don't have a really small paintbrush, you can use a pencil actually. And because we're not coloring anything in majorly, it's just adding small little details. So a small tip would work fine, any small tip.
So, wait, are we actually putting in the gray and the black, or are we just waiting?
I'm just gonna give everyone around 1 more minute to finish up the background or the moon, and then we'll get started with the actual craters.
Is this okay?
Yep, that looks really good.
I feel like that I left a lot of spaces between like white gaps here.
Oh, just a second. Nope, yours actually looks really, really good. Abhishek, that looks really good, but I think you're holding your paper the wrong
Upside
way.
down. But that looks really good.
That looks really, really pretty. You got this, girl.
Took some water on a brush and I kind of blended it all.
That looks really good.
That actually looks really nice. Like I can see the brightness like being executed.
And
That's
the depth
really
is
good.
actually really bold.
Yeah.
So now we're gonna get started with doing the craters on the moon. So what we're gonna be doing now is making a gray color. And to make gray, you mix in white and black. So again, if you don't have white or black paint, you can try using maybe a gray colored pencil.
And the color pencil, you just basically go back in after your paint dries so that it doesn't blend in.
Gray, sort of gray with my white a little bit so it's a little lighter.
Yep,
All
that's
right,
good. So right now I'm just, oh yeah?
So mine actually looks, I don't know if you could see it on the tip of my paintbrush there.
Yep, kind of. That's good.
Yeah, if it's like a silverish gray, that's gonna look really
I'm making a light gray, so it's not too dark and it's not too light. So if you can kind of see, this is the gray color that I'm using. It actually looks a little darker on the camera, but it's not too dark. So all I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna show you a simple way to create the craters. So all you're gonna do, oh, were there any questions before we started? No, okay. So all you're gonna do is, here's your moon, and you're gonna start from around one side, just one side of your moon. I'm doing the upper right corner. And all you're gonna do is just take that gray and kind of paint a little triangular-ish shape in that area. So I'll show you mine in just a second.
I'm sort of confused. So do we just outline the outside of the moon, or?
Oh no,
It's not the entire outside, so I just finished mine. And so it's kind of just like that, a small portion on the upper side of your moon. And it should be a little bit shaped like a triangle, but not exact.
What's weird is the paint on my palette's like this, but the paint on the canvas is like this.
So you can go ahead and add in a little bit of white and just blend it in. That's sort of what I did. If you look at it.
Stars.
So does this? So I just like a pink.
You're gonna make stars.
Yep, it's gonna be snow, not stars, but same technique. And that's really good. If you want to, you could go back in and just do a little bit of white on the border.
So like you can see, this is what I've done so far. So I did the triangle shape, and then you can take white again and kind of blend in the ends of it so it blends in together.
You could actually just leave a little bit of a white outline and then start your gray from a little bit inside of that.
So I'm gonna go back and add a bit more white to the ends. And after this, we'll be doing a little bit of a darker shade in another area of the moon. And it doesn't have to be perfect.
So we just take some white and just sort of blend it in?
Yes, after you did the gray, just take some white and blend it in the edges of it. So I'm working on that right now. And so, and again, it's that looks really good.
Really nice.
So right now I'm gonna go to the next one, which is just a darker shade of gray. And to do that, I'm just adding a little bit more black to my white paint.
Does this look like it's like been sort of blended?
Yep, I can see the shading. That's gonna be really, really nice, like smooth flow of shading there.
So this is the gray that I'm using now. I just added very little black to it, and it's gotten darker. And all you're gonna do with this color now is you're gonna go back here to your moon, and right under that triangle, just add a few little stripes almost under it. So let me do it real quick and I'll show you that. So I just added 2. And this is how it looks. So right now it looks very obvious. So what we're going to do now is do the same white paint and blend it in.
This looks
If you guys
good.
have any questions, please let us know.
I don't get what I'm doing 2 stripes, really.
Oh, so those are basically just going to look like deeper craters in the moon, because remember, every crater's size sort of varies. So we're going to show all of that. So sort of like this.
Sort of like this?
Yep, that's
Audrey,
good.
that looks spot on.
And you can again make them as big or as small as you want. It's really up to you.
So could we also use our fingers to sort of, spread it out?
Yep.
Good.
I do
Is this
that
good?
a lot.
Yep. I saw it for a few seconds.
But
that looks
your
good.
camera was fading. That looks really nice.
Mhm.
I can see the craters. That's good.
I kind of took my brush with some white paint and I did a kind of swirl like you're decorating the top of a cake. and it went.
Oh, that's a nice way to think of it.
Is this
That's
gonna
a really creative way. Yep, Swetha,
Yep,
that
that
looks
looks really
really
good.
nice. I can like see it right through. And obviously that looked really, really pretty. You
So-
got this.
I just finished up my moon, and if you look at it, you can kind of see the depth now. And if you want, you can go back in and add a little bit more gray or more white wherever you think you need it.
Sort of, does this look good?
Yep, that looks really good.
Yeah.
I sort of blended it in, then added another layer of gray, and then I put some white on it to make sure it doesn't.
Yep, that's a great idea.
All
I
right.
like how we're finding different techniques to do stuff. That's really cool.
How's she look?
That looks beautiful.
Beautiful.
All right.
I can see the galaxy. Oh, Max, those are really good craters. And
Let's
I like
just
how
go
you have
for it.
like a whole bunch. That's really pretty. Oh, and Ethan, I think you are also holding yours upside down. So I did it upside down to show you guys, but it's the other way. I just wanted to let you know.
You mean like this? It's supposed to be
No, the
like
other way.
yeah, it's supposed to be like that. It shows upside down on the camera.
Oh, okay. That's probably it then. You're fine. Sorry.
Nope, it shows upside down on the camera because everything flips.
Mhm. So I'm just going back in and adding a few more craters in areas that it kind of blended in too much. And this is what I have. So again, you can keep working on your moon and making it however you like and customizing it. But now we're actually going to go on to doing the trees.
Wait, is this
Yeah, that looks
really good.
nice. I like how I can see your moon. Like it's like literally the brightest thing.
Yep.
That's nice.
You could add maybe a few darker craters to emphasize it a bit more, but that looks really
If you
good.
want to, that looks amazing.
okay?
So now we're gonna go ahead and do the trees ground part.
Do we have to have like a really big brush to do the trees, or like?
No.
Not really. So we're gonna be showing you how to do it with two different types of brushes. One is a fan brush.
So this is the fan brush, and like you can see, it looks like a fan, and the ends, the bristles of the brush are kind of flared out. So if you have this kind of brush, you can use this, or you can also use a flat brush.
Which I'm pulling out just a second. It seems to have disappeared from me. Oh, because it's here.
And this is a flat brush. So here's to both of them, and we'll be showing you how to do it using both of these brushes.
Does this look like a flat brush, or?
I think that's a round tip. You might want to go for something a bit more like this one. This might give
The
you a better
bristles
example.
should be like rectangular, and they should kind of be straighter.
Mm-hmm.
And
And it's
not
a bit
as
thinner.
bushy.
It's not as puffy as a round brush.
Sort of like this, because I just washed it, sort of standing up like this. But
Yep, that's
Yep,
good.
I think that's good. Oh, and here's an example of the round brush. Give me just a second.
will a round brush still work or not?
The round brush,
Is
it
this
won't work
round
as
brush
well because
okay?
we want like straighter
Yep,
lines.
so we're just showing you the difference now. This is a round brush. Like you can see, the tip is round and it's more like bushier. And this is a flat brush, and the tip is kind of more like, it stays together more. And it should be a bit harder.
So we're gonna give you guys a minute to get your brushes.
The round brush is round. The flat brush is flat.
That's a really simple way of explaining it.
Are we doing the thing like where we put paint on it, then pull back on the brush and just go?
Not really. No, I think that's a good technique for doing bamboo trees. We're gonna do the evergreens, so it's a little bit different.
Wait, can you show us how? How are we going to draw evergreen trees with
Yep, that's what
we'll
we're
show
coming
you.
to. Just a second. So the first thing we're gonna do is, you know, the little 1/4 white space that we had earlier? We're gonna go ahead and paint that completely black.
Yep, and that you can do it using just the normal brush we were using for the background and for all that.
So we're painting.
Paint the whole thing black.
Yep, the whole 1/4 of that paper.
Yep, so that's gonna be just his white bottom line that we have left. Just paint that entirely black.
Okay, but won't it blend in and we won't be able to tell the difference?
It shouldn't blend in too much since the background is more bluer, and we'll be adding trees on top.
So I'm gonna show you guys. I'm just gonna do like a line part on where my line was. That's a terrible line, but it's getting there.
And a good idea is to add a little bit of water to your brush when you're doing it, so then you won't be needing as much as paint and it'll flow better.
Just gonna show you guys. So if you can see, I still haven't painted the whole thing, but you can see that it's not really blending in much once I paint the black.
And again, it doesn't have to be perfectly straight. If one side is like taller, then that's all perfectly fine.
I mean, these could be rolling hills where Winter Wonderland is. Who knows? Except for the artist, we know. So just paint that in.
And again, even the artist might not know. Dun, dun,
That's
dun.
Hey, it's all up to imagination.
I just took a bunch of water and using my black paint just a teensy bit.
It is completely black.
That sounds good.
You saw the difference between the two.
Totally black.
That's okay. That's gonna look really, really nice as we go on. Yep, Max, you have it done. That's good. We're just gonna.
Can I keep it like this?
If you don't want trees. I mean, trees are important.
Yes, trees help our ecosystem.
Yes. It's important to note we should be saving trees. Message for today's class. But so is everyone done with the little black part painting the ground?
Could you give us a minute or two?
Okay. We give you guys one more minute.
Riddle time.
Okay.
Okay, does anyone have a riddle? I don't have one at the top of my mind right now, but give me a second.
Usually,
Okay,
I
this is more riddle than joke, but how many times can you subtract 5 from 25?
5.
4.
Nope, once, because then you're subtracting it from 20.
Oh, that's a good point. That was good. Okay, here's a riddle. Why did Van Gogh become a painter?
I don't know.
Think about it. Do you guys? Oh, this is gonna give it away. But have you guys heard of the story where Van Gogh basically cut off his ear?
No.
Okay, so Van Gogh was a famous painter, but there was this one period in his time where things happened and his ear got cut off. But basically, so that's what this little riddle joke is playing on, and it goes because he didn't have an ear for music. This was a little bit of a history lesson, I guess, in a way, but hey, that's a new fact. So now we're gonna move on to the trees, and I'm gonna show you guys how to do it on the fan brush, and my sister will show you how to do it with a flat brush.
One thing, don't we need green paint?
Can I use my new fan brush?
We do need paint, and we are gonna use a paintbrush.
Don't need green paint for this because this is kind of more like a silhouette painting, so we'll just be using black and white.
Because if you're looking at the night sky and you look at a tree, it's most likely going to be darker since you don't have as much light to show its true colors. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to use a fan brush and show you guys. I have my black paint pretty spread out here, and we're just going to dip the tips of our brush into the paint, just lightly, so it looks like this. As you can tell, most of my paintbrush is not covered with the black paint, so it's gonna look like this.
And on a flat brush, it really just looks the same, but yeah.
And now I'm gonna turn it over this way because this part, I really need to do it this way, and I'll turn it back to show you guys in a second. But we're gonna use the technique where basically we're gonna lightly touch our paper, and we're just gonna do like little, almost dabs, but not really. I'm going to show you up close. Just give me 1 second. But as you go higher, you're going to start using the tip of the brush. So it's going to go like this, and it's going to be a pretty small tree for this one. But if you look at it really closely, I'm not sure if you can see it too well.
Very lightly, yes. I can only see half of it though.
Okay, I'm gonna show you guys the same thing with white paint because we're gonna go over it with white paint. The first layer is to do it with the black paint and then go over the white paint, but
And the white paint is supposed to be showing the snow that's on the trees.
because this is a winter wonderland. Yay. Just a second, I'm gonna.
So I just did it with the flat brush. Again, I'm not sure if you can see it too well, but I did the same kind of technique, and it's mostly just like not exact lines, but it's kind of dabbing at it to create a triangular shape like this.
Is this right with the fan?
Yep, that's really good.
Yeah, that is point on. That's exactly what I was trying to say. Now I'm gonna do it upside down.
Might have just one tree.
That's
You
fine
can
too.
do as many trees as you want.
Mm-hmm.
And you can make them as big and as small as you want because
So
trees
here's the
aren't all
technique.
sizes.
Just lightly dab it, lift it off. It doesn't have to be too thick. It could actually go over your ground part because, hey, the tree might be rooted in the foreground and not the background. So.
And again, the background is supposed to be further in the back, and the foreground is in the front.
Okay, I only see like 2 trees so far, but what is it?
Yep, that looks really good.
I can sort of see it. Just go over that with the white paint, same technique that you did. And as you get to the top, just remember to thin it out. Use the tip of your flare brush and just sort of build it from there, sort of like this.
That is.
So if you look at it, I think you guys can see it better now.
I just
But-
made an art joke off the top of my head.
Oh, that's nice. Just a second. I'm just gonna go over this part and then you can do the joke. But it's just gonna sparse out like this, and you can do as many trees as you want. Same technique. Here's a hint though. If you want to show a really nice difference between your foreground and your background, I would say sort of actually drag the tree all the way almost till like there's only a little bit of black left. Like I'll show you guys. I'm gonna do this tree in the foreground. So I'm just
And
gonna.
for example, if you wanted to do a tree in the background, you would make the bottom of the tree right over here, at the top of the black right here. And if you wanted it in the foreground, you should do the bottom of the tree somewhere in the black.
So here's a foreground example. You see how there's only a little bit of black left at the very bottom? And then there's the tree. That's sort of what we're gonna do to create a tree in the foreground. And the thing is, you're gonna start off with the black and then go in with the white. It'll create more of a snowy effect with more depth. So I'm gonna go ahead and create a few more trees.
I think I understand what you're doing now.
That's good. And remember, you could also have trees on the side if you want to. Just a second. I'm gonna make a tree on the side. You don't have to make it too crowded with trees or too sparse with trees. You could do basically anything.
Could I just use the white to make my trees like they're entirely covered in snow?
Yeah.
Yep, you could do that. And another thing to know, you don't have to do this because, like I said, you can make your trees as big or small. But if you are planning to do a tree in the background, then that would usually be smaller in size because it's further back. So you wouldn't see it as well. And in the foreground, it should usually be bigger because it's up close.
So here's another tree. You could also make a tree on the side. If you look at this, this one is more in the background than this one because it's off to the side and you have more of a gap here.
What do you think of these 2 trees so far?
That looks really good.
I like how they have like that snowy effect, but you could see how it's like the snow just fell since there's more black in some places.
It looks really layered.
That's really nice. And if you guys want to, you could also just mix a little bit of the white and the black to create like a little bit more of a, it's going to be gray, but it'll create more of like, I don't know how to say it, a smoky, snowy effect. Like it's not fresh snow. It's like the snow that's been there for a while. You could do that if you want to. That's another option. Just remember to start off either foreground or background, wherever you want, and create that little effect. So we're just gonna go ahead and do this. And as you get to the top, remember to just go on your tip. And this is for both flare brushes and fan brushes. So I'm gonna go ahead and just get the white part.
And then after the
Go over
trees,
it.
we'll just be showing you how to do the snow that's falling down.
And we're almost done, guys. We almost have our little winter wonderlands. So I'm gonna do this, and if you see, you don't have to do too much white. You could almost make it like it was like the one tree that I guess didn't have snow on it. And you could also do different shades of white. So the way I've done it is this tree has literally the lightest shade of white, and then I mix it in with a little bit of gray to make it look like they're older trees over here. And we're coming to the ground part once we're done with the trees. So hang on tight. Just gonna go and make maybe a few more trees. Oh, and you could do any number of trees you want.
How does this tree look?
Dude, that's
That
really
looks
nice.
really good.
Like, it took me a while to make trees. Your trees are like perfect.
How does mine look?
That's really, really pretty. I like how I can see the different sizes and sort of like shows distance. I really like that. You
Would
have
you
an
like to hear a painter joke?
Oh,
Would you
yeah,
like to hear
the joke. Yes, I'm so sorry.
Wait, do you know the painter Bob Ross?
Yes,
Yep.
I've tried his painting.
You never let a painter drive. They always get into happy little accidents.
Oh, that's a really good one.
I just thought it off the top of my head.
Oh, that's nice.
Is this good?
Yes. Oh my
That
gosh, I
looks
love
really
how you like
beautiful.
spaced all your trees out. That makes it look a lot more realistic.
Yep. And I really like your moon because it looks like it's actually shining.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
So we're just gonna give a few more minutes
Do,
for
like
the
the
tree.
stars with like the bottom of our brushes or something.
Wait, what was that? I don't think I got it.
Like the stars
Can you
are
say that again?
the bottom of our brushes.
Wait, I can't hear you. Hold up, just a second. Could you say that one more time? I'm sorry.
Are we going to make the stars or snowflakes with like the bottom of our brushes?
That's a smart idea, but we are going to do it a simpler way.
Okay.
And it's a lot funner too. Don't worry.
And we'll show that in 2 more minutes.
Yep.
That's like,
Audrey, that looks really pretty. I like how it's like a lot of distance between your moon and your trees. It sort of like makes it look like you're looking into the sky. That's really nice.
yeah.
You guys are doing really good.
I'm trying to make a lot of trees to seem like a long forest.
Yeah. Any ideas for the name of your forest? Possibly, maybe.
The Snowing Village or something.
That's nice.
good.
Yeah.
I have a riddle.
Yeah.
What has no start and no end and nothing in the middle?
Oh, a river?
A ring.
Mm,
A ring.
Those are good ones.
well, kind of, but no.
The infinity sign. I know that one.
A donut.
Yeah,
But that one, oh wait, it's a donut?
yeah, it's a donut.
I was about to be like, but you'd eat that in 5 seconds and it'd be gone. But that's
That
a
was a
really
good
good
one.
one. Okay, so now we're going to do the little ground effect right before we go into the snow. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to mix our black and our white again to create the gray. If you have gray left over from your moon, you could go ahead and use that. I'm just going to make my gray a little bit darker. Teensy bit darker. Almost there. So I don't know if you guys can see this, but this is how the gray looks.
I
So
think
I'm
I
gonna-
made mine sort of a metallic gray, maybe.
That's good too. Yeah, that looks nice. It's gonna look shiny nice. So basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna create little rolling hills on the black part of our paper. So right here, I'm gonna do it really quick and then hold it up so you can see it better. But I'm gonna use the tip of my brush and sort of just create like little hills wherever you want them. just make them roll. So here's one of them. It's gonna look different, but this is our first step to it. And make sure you have a little bit of water on your brush because that's gonna be important for this part. And we're gonna create rolling hills throughout our paper.
And one thing you should remember is, again, if you made a tree in the foreground, which is more close up, so for example, this tree that I made here would be in the foreground, you should do your hill right under it so it looks like it's standing on here. So I'll show you how I do that.
I'm just gonna create a few more hills and I'll get to the part where you can make it look really pretty.
I think I put too many trees to put these hills.
Oh, you could do like really slight hills too. It doesn't have to be like really big ones. But
so this is what I did. So like you can see, I've made it right under this big tree. So it looks like the tree is standing on the hill. And then I added more throughout. And this one, this tree, you can see I kind of did it behind the other hills since the tree is further back.
It almost looks like a really winding road that it's the trees are following.
That's nice. I'm happy it's taking you into the painting. Okay, so here comes the fun little finger painting-ish part if you want to. So this is the part why water was really important, but it's a little bit watery. So I'm basically going to take my finger and just drag it down. You could do this with a paintbrush too. It's just, I prefer doing it with my finger because I feel like I have more control over it. But I'm just going to go ahead and drag it down. And that'll sort of make it look like, almost like it's shining from the black part that we painted. And if it's not wet enough, just go back, paint over it, and then just
add more water.
And just drag it down. And have fun with it, guys. I'm a finger painting. It's really fun. So
A 5-year-old.
wait, does it look cool? Do you guys like it?
It looks cool.
Okay, I'm happy, guys. I was like, no one's responding.
Something I also like to do when I finger paint is like, you know how you can dab with the brush? It's helpful to dab with your finger, and it makes a cool texture to it.
Yeah,
it kind of softens everything.
If you want to make it darker, then just go back and do a darker gray.
Or you could add in a little bit of black.
I would say,
look anything like.
Yeah, that's
really good.
really nice. I can see like the ground and the different shading of the ground and the tree. That's really, really pretty.
That looks beautiful. I love how you did those.
That's really nice. Yeah. We're doing really good.
I think it's like too much water and then I skip too much.
And once, yeah, Sweeta, that looks really nice. I can see like each rolling hill, and I like how your tree's on that hill. That's really cute.
My gray kind of turned out to be a little bit silvery.
That's good. Avishi, that looks so good. I really like how I can see like the tiny tree and then the moon. That's so pretty.
Nikita, I'm renaming my village into the Rolling Hills.
Thank you.
Mine's called Pine.
Courtney, that's so pretty. I actually like how you like stop at 3 trees and they go back sort of this way. It almost draws you into the painting. Like when you're looking at it, you can see the way it's bringing your eyes to the moon. That's a really nice focal point technique.
I just have one solitary tree.
Well, dude, the tree and the moon are together. And they're probably talking. They're probably best friends. It could be like
a nice chat with each other.
Could be. Or it could be that tree from Percy Jackson. You never know. You guys are doing really good.
Me and my brother actually watched the Percy Jackson movie.
Did you like them?
Yeah.
Did you read the books?
No, not yet.
It's different when you read the books. It's very different when you read the books. But the series is really funny. I mean, like, I like his writing.
my mom or somebody, I think it was in a book. I don't know who. It just seems like somebody told me that my someone's mom didn't really let them. You can't. No, that was my mom. Yeah, it was my mom that talked about my daughter. I get freaked out really easily. So like,
Yeah.
my mom said before you watch the movie, just read the book. It'd be better for you. So you don't.
If you
get
read the book before you watch the movie, you are going to end up with not liking the movie too much. I think the first movie was really good, but the second movie didn't match the book. Like it's not the Harry Potter movies. That's what I'm going to tell you.
From a Jackson movie.
There is this. If you.
I haven't watched the first movie. The second movie was like, and guys, if you want to, you could add a little bit of white right on top of your hills, like really slightly, just to make it look like fresh snow just fell on there. And you can do the same drag method with your thumb or your finger, whichever finger, and sort of create that effect.
I have a question. Do you know what the How to Train a Dragon movie is?
Which one?
How to Train a Dragon.
Yeah, we watched like a whole bunch of those.
Those are really good.
Those are fun.
There's only 3 of them, 3 movies.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of episodes that I love. My dad introduced to me. I think my dad introduced that movie.
That's nice.
And I was
Okay.
like,
I have one more painting joke.
Just a second. So we're gonna go ahead and do the snow part, and then we will be pretty much done with our winter wonderland, and then you can do your joke right before we head off.
So to do the snow, all you're gonna do is take a paintbrush. It can be the one you're using now, or you can use a bigger paintbrush. I'm gonna be using this one. This one's kind of a round brush, and the bristles are a bit thicker. And all you're gonna do now is dip your paintbrush in water.
Just so it's saturated with water, not like too much.
But make sure it's not dry.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're gonna just dip your paintbrush into white paint. And I'm gonna actually go back and dip a bit more water, just so it's a little bit more liquid. And now all you're gonna do, so this technique, it works really easily. So here's my paintbrush, and all you're gonna do is just take your paintbrush and tap it on your finger like this, so in this motion. And when you do that, it should kind of spray on your paper and create these little droplets everywhere. And if they're too big or they're way too liquidy and they're making splotches, then that probably means you need less water.
And here's a technique. If you put your paintbrush sort of like, here's my finger, and then the paintbrush is going to be like this, so it creates a straight line, and then you tap it, it creates more of a snowy effect.
I did this before, sort of with another thing that I did. It was
Yeah.
sort of me and sun colliding. I sort of used a sort of toothbrush and sort of sprayed it on there.
That's another technique you could use. Yep.
Well, I just messed it up.
I'm just gonna clap.
I'm sure it's gonna look really good.
I'm just clapping it. I'm clapping
So
my
mine's is like really light snow almost. It's like thicker at the top because that's where I was doing most of the snow part, and then it sort of gets smaller as it goes down.
Mine is like really little, and it's like sort of little.
But that's nice because snow falls in different types of shapes and sizes. Snowflakes are unique themselves. So, but yep, that's basically our winter wonderland, guys.
Before we do it, make sure to sign your name in the bottom right corner, around like right there. And so this is mine, and I made my snow a bit thicker, so it's snowing a bit heavier. Hers is lighter.
Yep. Courtney, that looks really nice. I like how it's like the in motion snow falling.
And I really love your sky, especially like the red and the purples.
And the way the moon's bright.
Turned out like this.
Oh, yeah, I remember that from our class. That's so good. That looks really, really nice. Oh my God, I am clapping for you because that is amazing.
I really love yours, Emma. I love the rolling hills. That looks really good.
Yeah, no, I actually really like the way your sky looks like actually snowy. Like the cloudy, snowy sky we've had. That's
How
really
does my
Dude, that looks really nice. I actually like the way you did the one tree and then you had
Mhm.
like more on the rolling hills. I like
Yeah.
the way you like did that. The composition's really nice. I'm gonna bring this up. You can't see us. This is really good, guys. Oh, and oh my gosh, I love both of yours. I actually really like the way that it's on the left for us, but it's like really dark and then you see the moon and it's really bright and the trees are highlighted.
And I
That's
love
so
the purple
pretty.
in the sky because it adds a lot of depth
Oh
to
my
it.
gosh, I like the way you have like the small trees and then the distance between the trees and the moon with the brightness. It all like works out so well. And I think I have one more person I didn't see yet. I'm not sure what your name is. Carolyn, that is a beautiful blue. That is such a pretty blue. Oh my gosh.
And I love how you place the trees in like a higher hill and a lower hill. That looks
And
really
you can
good.
like see each hill. And Caroline and Oliver, that one was so nice. On Gravity Falls. I think I've seen like one, maybe an episode of it. I don't remember. It was a while ago. I'm sorry.
Yours looks really beautiful, Courtney.
I like the
love
way
the
you
sky.
blended in the purplish pinkness and you blended it in perfectly with the blue.
And
That's
like
so
the
pretty.
3 sides just on one side. That looks really good.
Yeah. Adira, yours looks so pretty. I actually like how you left like a little rim of white around there. That's really nice. That's really good thinking. Oh my gosh, Avishri, I love yours. I love the way you have like the black line in between the contrast it creates. That's so pretty.
Those all look so amazing.
Now I have to start the worst part, which is cleaning up.
I get you. We're gonna be doing that too.
May we see a joke?
Yeah.
I have a joke.
Okay, who wants to go first? Max, do you want to go first since you asked first, and then we'll go to Anaya, I think. Ananya?
Sure. Why did the bald man paint rabbits on his head?
Because he wanted some hair. Is that right?
Far away, it looked like hair.
I was close. That was a close one. And obviously that's so good. I like the way I can see the snow on like the purple darker parts. It looks like brighter snow. That's so pretty. And Ananya, do you want to go next?
Yeah.
Oh wait, guys, you're muted.
Yeah. Okay. What is a type of jacket that does not have zippers and does not have a button?
It's a shirt. It's a shirt.
A yellow jacket.
I know.
that's
She
good.
told me this one before. Yeah, I told her.
Anybody else have guesses? I'm a little lost.
My only guess is a shirt because like no zipper, no pockets, no nothing.
Yeah.
No.
Is it a yellow jacket?
No.
Okay, no. Wait, what was it?
Should we see the answer?
Yeah. If no one else has any guesses.
Yeah.
It's a coat of paint. Yeah, a coat of paint.
Oh,
That's a good one.
That's
a really good one.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Like one of the other challenges that you asked us to clean in our art class. I didn't
Yeah.
do it.
Wow, I'm happy that you're keeping up with those. Like
That
that's
looks
really
amazing.
nice. Good job. Okay, I think we've come to the end of our Winter Wonderland workshop.
I don't think it's come to the end. I'm gonna have a starry desk for the rest.
Bye.
But thank you all for coming to our workshop.
Yep. And we really love making
Thank
this
you guys
beautiful
for-
masterpiece
for,
of you.
Miss Kendra, that looks beautiful. Oh my god.
I really love the red in this.
Yeah, and I like the way it circles around the moon. That was like such a really good idea. I haven't thought of that. That was really nice. Oh my gosh, we're doing amazing.
If everybody finishes, if everybody wants to hold their camera on and hold their up to the camera, and
Grace, I love your purple stripes. I'm sorry, I'm just seeing it. I was like, oh my gosh, that looks
I love
beautiful.
yours, Grace.
if everybody can hold theirs up to the camera, I'm gonna try to take a picture. I don't have that many hands.
Kate, I really like the way you blended in, like the back. That looks like it has like the smoky sky effect. That's really pretty.
Right.
Oh my gosh, I'm loving it, guys.
I don't have enough hands. All right, awesome. I got a picture. So we had some wonderful starry nights that are all unique in our own.
Is mine good? Is mine good?
Yeah. Oh my
That
gosh,
was
both of yours are
beautiful.
really nice. I love how it's like the winter colors and then you can see the tree and your moon is really clear.
Yep, and I like the amount of purple in this sky because it really brings it out.
So let's say thank you very much to Rathanya and Nikita. You all did an absolute fabulous job. Everybody's turned out really nice. And we'd like to thank them. So everybody give them a round of applause.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Excellent. And I think our next workshop is scheduled for Tuesday, February 2nd. And I think it's going to be sweets for our sweeties. So we're going to be making chocolate truffles and some other, sweets. So I think Miss Carter is going to be teaching or doing that session. So if I'm remembering correctly. So I'm going to stop recording and